Hello lovely people, it's Nicola out on a nature walk with Mr. Stitches. It's a beautiful day. Didn't even need to bring a sweater today because I know I'm going to get hot and sweaty. Going up and down all the steps they have put in on this trail and the slopes and enjoying the lake, not the lake, the creek. I'm enjoying the creek, the water sounds. And the forest bathing. Beautiful.
It's a wasp's nest.
Well, it's been a really good day. I did sleep in rather late this morning. I have got into a BritBox show called The Bay. And last week I watched one of the seasons. Now, I don't know where my brain was last week, but I started watching it and then I realized that instead of watching season 1, I was watching season 5 first. So I thought, okay, I've got to the end of season 5. Do I go back and watch the first 4 seasons? So I left it for a few days. And then when I next wanted to watch something, I thought, fine, I'll go back to season 1, episode 1. And I'll start from there. And I think I probably watched maybe 3 episodes last night. Trouble with not having anywhere you have to be the next morning is it's not a great incentive to get to bed early, is it? So I went to bed pretty late. And then I woke up. Somehow my alarm clock must have got set again. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, that I set it for 7 because I knew I wanted to get stuff done. Or maybe it was the day before. Right, hang on a minute. I set it for 7 on Friday morning because I wanted to do some sewing before I went to work. And then yesterday I wanted to get up at 7 because I had a hair appointment at 9. And so today, no idea how, my alarm went off at 7 o'clock. So I switched it off and then I went back to sleep. I didn't get up till 9:30. Anyway, once I had my cup of tea and my breakfast, I decided it was probably time to do some housework, which has been definitely sliding lately. So I started vacuuming. What I always do is I start vacuuming the downstairs and tidying as I go. And I work my way up the stairs and then throughout the upper level. So I am very pleased with how much neater and tidier the utility room looks now because there was so much clutter in there. And I recycled some cardboard. I put some thrift stuff in my car. I put my jump leads back in my car, which have been sitting in my utility room for a long time, probably because I had to empty as much out of my car to put all my market stuff in the summer. I tidied up the shoes. With 5 of us living here, you can imagine that's a lot of pairs of shoes on the mat. So I took all the shoes off, I vacuumed the mat, put them back neatly. And I vacuumed in here and I went up the stairs and then I cleaned my ensuite bathroom. But I didn't actually get any further than that because by that time it was time for lunch and then we wanted to go out for a walk while it was still nice out. So I've got some footage of that, which you may have already seen, probably have already seen, because I think this is probably my last little segment for the day. And it's one of our favorite hikes. It's pretty challenging because of all the steps, the wooden steps that they have put there to help get you through the park without damaging the ecosystem too much. And then it was time to make dinner when I got back. So we had chips and dip because I had this bag of tortilla chips that has been sitting around in my pantry for weeks. And we kept looking at it thinking, when are we going to eat that? So I ended up making this layered dip with bean dip and queso and salsa and avocado guacamole. And very simple and makes a hell of a lot of dishes, of course, because I'm using the blender for one thing, the food processor for another. A couple of bowls. Yeah, it makes a lot of mess, but it's a fairly simple meal. So the cleanup's all done now. So while I was watching the bay, I think it was then that I managed to get a bit more knitting done. So last time I showed you my hoodie, my toddler hoodie here, I had done about 1.5 inches of the hood. Now I've got 3.5 inches done. So that's coming along really quickly. I think it helps that I'm not working in the round now. The sleeves were in the round, which was a bit fiddly because it was magic loop and because it was knit one round, purl one round. This is just knitting back and forth, straight, flat, easy peasy. Don't have to think about it. No faffing about with the needles. So that's coming along really well, glad to say. Now, yesterday I was talking to you about baskets because somebody asked me what I was going to do with the t-shirt yarn I haven't cut any more of the loops of the t-shirt yarn yet. It's really low priority. But I found this basket down on the floor here earlier when I was vacuuming. I saw it down there and I thought, oh, I didn't show you that one. So here's another one. This is another yarn one, multiple strands of yarn, and very much a blue theme going on with this one. It's probably my least scrappy one. I think it's gorgeous. I love these things. They're so useful. So that's the 5th one that I have in this room of mine. I don't think there's any more. Don't think so. This up here, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. This up here with the flowers on is a little bag that I made last year, and I blogged about that quite extensively at the time. So it's not really a basket like this. It's just more like a little handbag type thing, or a little mini tote bag. So that's not quite the same thing. I think that's it. Yeah. I want to show you this thing that Mr. Stitch has bought for me. I want to know if you can guess what this is before I tell you what it is. This is the bottom of it. This is the top of it. So it was from Rocky Mountain Fitness. Mr. Stitches went in there the other day. He didn't tell me what he was planning to buy or anything. And it's called an MD Buddy calf stretcher. Did you guess right? So you put it on the floor. You stand in front of a wall so that you can hold onto the wall. You put your heel in here. And then you stretch your calf muscles. So if you imagine my arm is my leg. Can you imagine the back of the calf is really stretching out because your foot is going up at this angle. And then once you stretch for a while on that, you sort of rock it forward and then you rock it back again. And this apparently is designed for plantar fasciitis sufferers, of which I sadly am one. Now, I've been putting up with it for a really long time and not really doing anything about it because I was going to the chiropractor and she was giving me shockwave therapy and it was so painful I decided to stop going. Sorry, Cara, but I just couldn't stand it anymore. So leaving it untreated is not a good idea because you end up with quite a painful heel. Sometimes if you're walking barefoot, it feels like there's a big hard pad under your heel. And when you keep moving, quite often it's fine. But if you sit down and then stand up again and try and walk across the room, you're limping quite badly. So I'm really hoping this is going to work. I don't have more than 5 days to work on my calf muscles before we go on holiday, but I'm hoping it will improve things because I know that walking through airports and sitting on a plane for like 9 hours is going to not be pleasant if my plantar fasciitis is flaring up. So I hope this works quickly and well. And I hear that massaging your calves is supposed to be really good as well. So maybe I should be doing that every day. Because it is pretty miserable, even though it's hardly life-threatening, but it is a little painful and annoying. Obviously, we've had our walk for the day, so we won't be going out this evening. So I think I'm going to install myself on the couch, carry on with the hoodie, get that hood done. And then I can start with the fun bits of adding on the dinosaur scales along the back. So actually, I feel like the end is now in sight. I am feeling optimistic. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Comment below if you did any crafting, crochet, knitting, sewing, maybe something else. Are you doing something seasonal that's maybe fall related, autumn related, Halloween related? Or maybe you're making Christmas gifts because, you know, Christmas is just around the corner, much as we'd like to ignore it. I like to hear from you. So yeah, drop me a comment underneath the video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.